Hi everyone, this is Wayne Rivers at Performance Construction Advisors, where we build better contractors. Don't forget about boot camp. We've got boot camp coming up in August in Denver and October in Raleigh this year. So ask Charlotte for more information and she'll get it to you right away. This week I want to talk about, what do construction CEOs earn? Oh my. Oh, we're going to talk about money. That can be a taboo subject. Now, what about this is important to you? Let's face it. Money is not the object of life. Money is not everything. But it is something that we use to measure. So volume, for example, is a measure of the gross revenue of your company. That's a measure. It tells us something about the company. It's not everything, but it gives us a data point that helps. Money is just a means of exchange, and it's not everything in the world. But the absence of money, the absence of volume, the absence of profits, the absence of compensation for your people can be quite a problem, can it? So, that being said, to get the talent that you want and need, you've got to pay competitive wages and obviously benefits and culture and all the other things that go into being a great construction company. Now, this information came from the Chief Executive Newsletter, May of 24. That was the beginning of it. And you've heard me talk about that newsletter a lot. It's worth getting. It's a daily thing. Some days it's great, some days not so much. And they had a few stats about comp. Now, this isn't construction. This is private business that they surveyed, and I forget, it was like 1,600 private companies or something like that. They said the median. Now, the median is the 50th percentile, right? It's not the mean. It's not the average. Median CEO salary went up 4.1% last year. They said 70% of these private companies report that there's going to be little, if any, change in CEO comp for 24. That means 0 to 5% increase in comp. Performance incentives, however, did expect to go up by 5.3%. And they came up with a calculation in their median that the average private company CEO got a base comp of about $312,000 and a bonus of about $100,000 for total comp of about $412,000. So I wanted to know, how does that compare with what our construction CEOs earn on, well, not on average, but at the median? Okay, so I took a quick look at our stats. And for the median, and I used president here, not CEO, but I think it's probably an interchangeable term in private businesses, isn't it? Base comp was about $300. Bonus was higher than the CEO newsletter. Bonus was about $183,000. Total pay package $483,000, not $412,000. But not all that far apart. Some, but not all that far apart. So that's probably a pretty good number. Now, those numbers, you've got to dig into the numbers to extract their meaning. The numbers differ by region. They differ by the type of construction that you do. They differ by whether you're an S corporation or a C corporation. They differ based on the size of the firm. Larger firms tend to pay a little bit higher than smaller firms. It also doesn't take into account equity. They said that the CEOs in the CEO newsletter survey tended to own about 10% of their companies. So they did get equity growth. Some of our members own 100% of their companies, so they get all the equity growth. Some don't own any. So the range of what our folks own among their companies is tremendous. And that equity growth really didn't figure into that $483,000 figure whatsoever. Now you have to ask a question. I thought that this question would be fair anyway, because construction is a uniquely difficult, competitive, all-consuming, exhausting business. Is $483,000 total comp for a president of a construction company fair? Given all the risk that you take, especially if you're an owner of the company, is that fair? Now, every individual has to answer that question on his or her own, but the argument could be made that construction, being the exhausting industry that it is, maybe the comp should be higher than other industries because it just takes so much out of you. If you're the president of the company for 10, 15, 20 years, that's like running a marathon every day for 10 or 15 or 20 years. So I'd like to hear what you think. Share with us in the comments. Do these numbers strike you as being pretty accurate? Too high, too low? What do you think? Share with us in the comments. This is Wayne Rivers at Performance Construction Advisors, where we build better contractors.